Thank you very much, Jack. And today, in keeping with the shell tradition, we've got two of the finest players in the world playing one of the world's best new golf courses. Fred, a lot of people think these shell shows are just exhibitions, but it means a little bit more than that to you, doesn't it?
Well, I think the competition's pretty stout here. They couldn't have got a much tougher guy for me, and the wind's obviously blowing, but you're exactly right. This is, it's not an exhibition. I mean, Greg and I are playing for something, and, you know, if I win, that's great, and if he wins, that's great. But I think the main thing is to come to such a beautiful place and play a round of golf.
Greg, what do you think about these shell shows?
Well, I think the series are great, Dave. I mean, I remember looking back when I was a kid in Australia, looking back on the old ones, you know, and I know they've done about 93, the original Shell's Wonderful World of Golf, so there's a lot of nostalgia and history of it, and for Freddie and I to be part of it, it means a lot to us, because, you know, in 50 years' time, 60 years' time, they're going to say, look at those, Freddie Couple and Greg Lowe, who were those guys out there at, you know, Carnegie and SKIBO? But, you know, we're going to have fun today. You know why? Because we don't play in conditions like this in America very often. We don't play anywhere else in the world until we come back here to Scotland. And we're going to be making shots, do things that we don't intend them to do, and we're going to be trying to make them do things that we've never seen or practiced before. And I think that's the great thing and the uniqueness about this event right here today.
Well, it's 18 holes, stroke play, and if there is a tie, they will split the prize money. And today, handling the rules, past chairman of the championship committee of the R&A in St. Andrews, Scotland, ALISTAIR Lowe, who will toss the coin to see who has the honor. ALISTAIR?
Thanks, Dave.
Make sure it's a heavy coin, ALISTAIR. You might lose it.
Am I making the call here? Yeah. All right, I'll take tail.
Heads it is. Greg?
Does that mean I'm up?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to go up, you're up.
Oh, I'll go
Good luck.
Play well, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, let's have a look.
First hole, David.
It's a pretty good starting hole, Jack. Downwind today, and this wind is really fierce, so it's not going to play anywhere near 449 yards. Hard part's going to be to keep the ball on the green when you're going with the wind. Slight dog leg to the right. A very nice opening hole on this wonderful golf course. Just the one bunker, short left to the green. This is Greg Norman now with a 3-iron. Give you some idea of how much the wind is blowing.
Looks like it's going a little right.
And it got a right-hand kick too, Jack, and he's in the right-hand rough. Now, depending on the lie, obviously, to whether he can get a club on it, get it to the green.
Up in that.
Up in that golf. Is it really?
Now Freddie, also with an iron.
Push it.
Well, the wind didn't seem to change his tempo, did it?
Well, that's an important thing to remember, too, when you're playing, is to keep your tempo. And that's a hard thing to do when it's windy as it is here today.
Well, here's a look at the golf course. 6,671 yards, par 71, opened in 1994. The architect, Donald Steele. And the record, 69 by Paul Lawrie. First place, $100,000. Second place, half that. Greg from the rough.
And that rough is a little wispy there. It's not as thick as it looks, so he ought to be able to get it somewhere near the green.
Come on, Wayne.
Hey, he didn't.
Ooh. Come up the hill. Great shot.
Stay, please. Stay until the
Is he ever going to stop rolling?
That was almost a wonderful
That
shot.
thing hit the ground and ran twice the length of the green.
Fred Couple's second shot. Now, that's just out of the light rough, but with the pitching wedge, should be able to put some spin on this.
And once again, look at this ball roll. It looked like it was going to be short, then it looked like it was going to be perfect. And now, he just barely holds it on the green.
Did you see Freddie's ball now?
No, I didn't see what it did.
It is off the green level of the gallery.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it got up near the hole and the wind just kept pushing it going this way, kept going.
People don't realize it's just as hard to keep the ball on the green when you're going downwind.
Sometimes downwind holes are harder to play, Dave. I honestly believe that. That's why I enjoy playing these types of conditions, because you don't get an opportunity anywhere else in the world to get this. And, you know, we'll have a little fun. We'll pull our hair out somewhere around the day here today, but What's new?
Now, Greg Norman's third. Norman, simple little pitch here. Should be. Good line.
It came out a little lower and hotter than he meant, but not a bad shot.
Couples putt now, and this going back against the wind, so this will be pretty slow. Should break to Fred's left. Well, they gave it a good run, just a little too hard, a little outside the top side of the hole. Norman's putt for a par 4. Now this putt will be very fast as it's downwind, inside the left of the hole. Did he hit it? Ooh, and it just winked out the right side. You see how much faster that putt was than Couples' putt.
Putting back into the wind, has to keep it inside the right edge. Oh, and he got it on the right edge. Oh, well, he's got this one, double bogey 6. Fred Couples with the solid par, enjoying 2-shot lead at this moment.
We're now at the second hole, a par 4. Both players have driven into the fairway.
Greg Norman's second shot. Now, in order to get close here, he's got to flirt with the bunker on the right-hand side of the green. Wind very strong to his left.
And the wind again.
Never touched it. Couples 114 yards, this with a wedge. I'll look for this to be left of the flag.
It's left. That's got to. Stop. Stop.
But not much left. What a shot. Greg has a very difficult shot here going downwind, the ball plugged. Very hard to stop it. Oh, and what a nice shot. That's way better than I thought he could do.
Joe, you can pull it out for me, please.
All right, good gallery here today, and in it there is Willie Milne on the left, the golf professional of the Carnegie Club, with Alan Grant, the secretary of the club. Good following out here today for this match as Greg Norman now for par. Ooh. Another bogey for Greg Norman. Ready now for birdie. But another solid par for Fred Couples. After 2 holes of play, Mr. Couples, with those 2 pars, enjoys a 3-stroke lead as we move now to the 3rd hole here at the Carnegie Club. A magnificent par 3, but very treacherous today, completely downwind at 152 yards, David.
And Jack, it plays nowhere near that, obviously. Fred Couples with a pitching wedge from 152 yards. And, you know, you're always guessing a little bit. You got to knock it over that bunker that you see between Fred and the flagstick. And, of course, the green's so firm, the wind so much behind them, it's hard to stop it.
And there's trouble left, right, and behind.
Easy. Easy.
Look out. All right, stop.
Wrong side. I know I got no play. That's my fault, really. Coming straight down SKIBO Mountain.
I think that's as good a description as any, straight down SKIBO Mountain. But he meant, what he meant was he wanted to be a little bit more in the fat of the green than he was at the right-hand side. Norman also with a pitching wedge. This looks good.
Well, if anybody can put some spin on it, he can. And he does.
That's a very good point, Jack.
All right, Freddie chipped up and got another very solid par, and here was Greg with a chance to pick up a stroke, a birdie attempt.
hit it?
No.
He hit it? Wasn't solid.
But his first par of the day. And with that, Fred Couples maintains a 3-stroke lead. As we move now to the 4th hole, Dave.
And this will be a good little hole today. 309 yards. Doesn't sound like much, but back into this strong wind, it will be. And if you see all the trouble right and left, you better put it in the fairway. Again, this is the first hole that they've had to play against the wind.
Fred Couples has already driven into the fairway. Now Mr. Norman.
That was with a 2-iron and not looking too good. Oh, he's already asked for another ball.
Oh my.
What is that?
Yeah, I'm walking over there.
Deep stuff.
You're dead if you're in there. And Greg, they did in fact find the ball. What Greg has done is you're allowed to do, it's unplayable. You can keep that point between you and the hole and go back as far as you would like, which is what he's going to do, this with a 1-stroke penalty. So after the drop now, this his 3rd shot, and this just to get back, well, he might get it on the green.
Okay.
They get back in the fairway, but that's okay. So Norman 3 there.
And Freddie 1. So as we get up to the green now, Fred again has made a nice par, and here is Greg for double bogey.
Man, how many shots you going to give me from here on in? I'll take 3 aside.
I'll tell you what.
Give me 3 aside, we might have a game.
Triple bogey for Greg Norman. And after 4 holes, Fred Couples' lead increases. Welcome back to Skibo Castle on Shell's Wonderful World of Golf. Falconry is one of the unique events that takes place each morning on the castle moor. As the Lanner Falcon is free to soar over the castle grounds, Bonsai, the Bengal Eagle Owl, has a more limited flight path.
Greg, anytime you're ready, I think you've given him enough lead.
I just said to him back there, I said, you can give me 3 aside now. I think we got a pretty good game, so let's see what happens from here on in.
Fred, you gonna let him press?
We already have pressed, yeah. I'm not dumb enough to figure out this guy. When we turn around, I got my work cut out for me. Obviously, it's hard putting, and so far I've 2-putted most of the holes, and Greg struggled a little bit, but the key is just to keep it out of the junk.
Well, that's what he hadn't done.
Now the 5th hole, 359 yards, par 4.
Straight downwind, Jack, and actually it gets very narrow down there, about 300 yards, which they can easily hit it today. So they'll lay up with an iron and then play a 2nd shot downwind to this green that sits up a little bit. No bunkering around this green, makes it a little difficult to pick the right club. Not an easy shot.
Both players have hit their tee shots. Now Greg with his 2nd.
It looks good in the air, Jack. 180 yards with an 8-iron, and look at this. This shows you, hold on. Once it hits that hard ground, well, that wind just scoots it.
That's a bump and a run and a run and a run shot.
And a more
What do you
bump.
like with this?
Yes, definitely.
What do you like? How do you?
I think anywhere between the crane and the pin, I mean, you know what I mean?
But a full one?
Up near the front.
Fullsies? Hit it
Yeah,
and get it in the air?
stock one.
It'd be nice to get it in the air. It just, man doesn't hit grounders, does he? He's won the Masters.
Get up.
That with the sand iron, gonna hit a little short.
Oh.
Ah, he got a bad bounce.
Hold them, please, hold them, please.
Look at this gonna go. Holy cow. I didn't get it where I was looking, but
Neither player was able to get it up and down on this very short par 4. So at the end of 5 holes of play, Fred Couples still enjoyed a comfortable lead. The always surprising game of golf. What would you figure on Greg Norman beginning this way?
Well, it just shows you anything can happen in this game. And when you have the wind like this and you're trying to judge those shots bouncing into the green, he's hit some pretty good shots that haven't turned out. And then, of course, his bad shots have been horrendous.
Yes, they have. Well, as you said, when you're going downwind, you can't hold the green. When you're going against it, you can't get to it. We are here in another short hole, par 3, the 6th.
And playing short too, because it's straight downwind at 221 yards, which is by no means short. Couples with the honor. This is 6-iron. It just shows you how short the hole is playing. Every shot's a guess. Just a little wry smile. She turned out okay. Norman, also a 6-iron.
Ooh, just over the bunker.
Watch the wind take this little slope there. Even his good shots aren't getting close.
Thank you.
Now Norman is 2-putted for par. Here's Freddie for another birdie attempt. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Only thing holding that up is the wind blowing against it. I guarantee you that.
Wow, that's the shortest stroke I think I've ever seen. After 6 holes, Fred Couples still out in front. Par 4, 7th hole. Both players have hit their drives in the fairway on this 396-yard par 4. Fred Couples, second shot.
How much front?
390 front right.
Okay.
102 is total. Get up below. Yeah. Keep it up there.
All right, short here at the green, and let's go down to David with a special guest.
With me, I've got Peter DeSavary, who's chairman and founder of the Carnegie Club, and you've got to be very proud of this. And why the golf course here?
Well, Andrew Carnegie built the course here in 1898. It was a private course. Jay Taylor, the triumvirate member, helped him. The course was closed in 1936, and when I came 6 years ago, I felt it was important to resurrect the links course, the first links course newly available in 50 years, probably the last in Scotland.
Well, you've got every right to be proud of it, and it's giving the boys fits today. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
Freddie is getting the fits now. This is for par after Norman is safely in with his. Now, another bogey for Freddie. And Greg Norman cuts the lead a little bit after 7 holes of play.
And you're looking down the 8th hole, Jack, 417 yards, but it'll play a lot longer than that today as we go back against the wind. 2 bunkers, got to watch the lake, slight dog leg to the right, so stay down the left side of the fairway. Norman with the honor.
Hitting the big club, too.
Well, they haven't had an opportunity so far to use a driver any, but they will as you turn against this wind. That's a wonderful drive, but he's still got some maybe 200 yards from there against this very brisk breeze.
Now Freddie.
Temptations to cut it to the right, but that lake waits for you there.
And Freddie puts it safely down the middle. You see what the wind is doing. It's not rolling at all here. And they're really being tested on this hole. Nice long second shot.
You poor thing. But the first time you knocked it by him today.
I know. Well, I had to do something. Man, it looked like I'm about an 8 or 9 handicap around here.
Well, these kind of courses can make you do that when it's this windy.
You know, you can just miss hit a shot and you're going to pay the price. And then you've just got to be confident just hitting it there. And when you get it, these greens may be just a little bit too quick. I think the wind's got them a little dried out, but it's still interesting. You know, you trust in your touch and all the past experiences, what you can gather up. And look at this end. We got 179, 180, probably 200. You could almost hit a solid 3-wood up in the wind.
I was wondering if you could get there, really. I mean, it's how hard is it blowing?
You got choices here, Dave. You can hit a 3-wood in the air, you can hit a 2-iron lower on the ground, or you can cold top an iron, and you'll still got to get there. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Oh, that may be wonderful. That is a wonderful shot.
Right into the wind.
That was worth coming for, Finchy.
Brilliant.
What a great shot. Bore a hole right in the wind.
Tell me, how good was that?
That was my best. It was worth coming for.
That was terrific, Fred.
I smoked it. I don't know if he's got a 1-out.
He's got a 2-iron. A 2-iron, 192. Boy, that looks good too, Fred. Huh? There are 2 great shots there. Oh, man.
Great shot. Well, it made my trip. Should we go in?
2 magnificent iron shots into this long hole into the wind. And now Greg for birdie.
Just from about 12 feet, Jack. We'd move a little to Greg's right. Didn't hit it hard enough to hold the line. That's putting right against the wind, too, so you could be a little firm if you wanted to be.
Knock it in, bud. One of us is going to make a 3 here.
Yeah.
That's famous pastime in Scotland.
Getting a little salmon to start the day.
Ready for birdie.
About 8 feet.
Well, 2 pars, but 2 almost birdies here. Magnificent second shots by these fine players. After 8 holes of play, Fred Couples still in the lead. The 9th hole at the Carnegie Club at SKIBO Castle is a par 5, 532 yards long. Both players have hit 2 shots. Here's Freddie Couples.
This, of course, is 3rd shot, 4-iron from 140, going right against the wind. Oh, he didn't stay with it. Well, maybe he thought it's too much club or
Well, he
whatever.
hit a pitching wedge downwind, 152 yards, a 4-iron.
That gives you
here.
some idea of what it does. Of course, now he's got a difficult little pitch here. Greg already on the green in 3. Not too good. A little clumsy. That's what wind will do to you, too.
Now Greg with a chance to close the gap a bit here.
Got to put up over a hill, and then it's going to go back to the left at the hole. There you go. There's the hill. It should work a little bit back to the left. But it doesn't. The wind held it up there a little bit, Jack. See? Shaking his head a little bit.
Good putt.
Thanks, Freddie.
It's a good 5.
Now Freddie for par. Oh, did you see that break? So after 9 holes, Greg Norman beginning to come to life a bit. His bad start there with his double and triple bogeys. Freddie out in 38, Greg in 42 at the end of 9. We'll be back with more from the Carnegie Club at SKIBO Castle in just a moment.
Fred, 3 over and a commanding lead. Little surprise?
A little bit. Obviously, it's a very difficult course, as everyone's seen so far, but we're looking for a few better things to back. I almost think it's easier to control the ball into the wind, but I think we're going to have a lot of 3 irons and 2 irons left. So Greg's still, you know, I wouldn't say he's in the driver's seat, but I'm sure I'm going to be coming back to him pretty fast.
Well, that sounds like a little breath of fresh air. The bad news is the birdie holes are over.
Fresh air. Look at this fresh air we got blowing here at 40 miles an hour.
It hadn't been fresh for you.
No, I just, you know, I just got off to a bad start, Dave, and that's it. But, you know, now I got my rhythm. I think a little bit more comfortable with the way the wind's feeling on my body and my back. And, you know, you got to get adjusted to that, and I'm that way because I guarantee if I woke up on a Sunday morning and I was home and I saw this wind like this and I said, I got to go out and practice, I said, I wouldn't go out in this weather and practice if you asked me to, but we're having a lot of fun, and as I said right from the beginning, it's going to be an interesting just to experience it. We hit 2 beautiful shots back there on that 8th hole. You know, people don't get to see that, and I think Freddie and I both felt very, very satisfied with those shots.
And they should have 2 great long irons into the wind. But here at the 10th hole, par 5, 509 yards, they're going downwind. And both players have already hit their tee shots.
It is blowing, isn't it?
It's blowing all right. Both these drives over 300 yards. This with a 9-iron from 179 yards. With a 9-iron, you'd expect to hit the green, but he's left himself a really difficult little pitch there. The only good news is it's going back against the wind.
Well, it's 100 feet on.
Norman also with the 9-iron, this from 178 yards. Lies a lot better than Fred's was.
Get down. Oh, I got to fly it, Tony. Get down.
Whoops.
Well, you could hear him say he got a flyer, and that, of course, means it's going to be out of control. Probably too long, which it was.
Fred Couples' 3rd shot.
But the only good news here is he's pitching back against that wind a little bit.
Left.
That's a very nice shot.
Thanks.
Norman's 3rd shot. This back of this bunker lip, just high enough to bother him a little bit on what would otherwise be a simple bunker shot. Find it so often in these tight bunkers. Well, a good shot, a real good shot by Greg Norman. He's become a marvelous bunker player.
All right, we're putting now here for birdie. This par 5 hole.
I'd like to see someone make a putt. There's one. Finally. He's had a lot of chances.
Thanks, Greg. Knock it in. Wow.
Now Norman. Yes, 2 birdies here at the 10th hole. And through 10 holes, Fred Couples remains in the lead. As we move now to the 11th.
This is a short little par 3 of 145 yards, but one of only 2 holes that should be played into a crosswind today. Difficult shot in the sense that it's hard to make yourself hit the proper shot here. More often than not, the players will bail out to the right. Well, you can see it went to the right, and it was where you want to miss, though, if you do, because it pitched back into the wind's a lot easier than if you missed it on the left side where the bunkers are. Had the 6-iron. Now, Fred has a 7. This would be more of a full shot. Looked like Greg tried to play a little punch with his. Yeah, that's more of a full shot, and watch, though, the wind just ate that up at the end. It's in that slope. He needed one more club too, Jack.
They're both down in the same general area, and from there they both got up and down, and at the end of 11 holes, Fred Couples still enjoyed a 4-stroke lead. At the par 5 12th hole, Greg Norman was in trouble off the tee. He had to take a 7-iron just to get it back on the fairway. He could not reach the green in regulation. Freddie Couples, in the meantime, got par, and here was Greg putting for par.
in the wind.
Oh, close, but still another bogey for Greg Norman. And after 12 holes, Fred Couples goes back to a 5-stroke lead. Welcome back to Shell's wonderful world of golf. Also in the Dornoch area is stately Dunrobin Castle, the ancient seat of the Earls and Dukes of Sutherland. This fabulous structure is home to the oldest earldom in Scotland. And here is the 13th hole at the Carnegie Club at SKIBO Castle.
And only 157 yards, Jack, but it's a full 4-iron. This is what Fred has right back into the wind. Ooh, we ballooned it. Not gonna like that.
Tough. Oh, I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to look at it. That's not what I was trying to do.
Ball in the front bunker.
And unless he's very lucky, that ball's going to be buried, because anytime you hit it against the wind like that, it's coming straight down. Greg now with the 4-iron also. And he knows you got to play a punch in there, or certainly hit the shot a lot more solid than Fred did.
Beauty. Good shot.
It certainly is. Very nice shot. Into this wind, I'm told, is blowing 40, 50 miles an hour at gusts. Fred Couples' second shot at 13. The ball's buried in the bunker, so not an easy shot, but it is going against the wind, so I give him a little more control. Nope, came out hot like I thought. Just what he talked about earlier. Trying to stay away from those bunkers because the ball seems to plug now. He's left himself some 50 feet maybe from the flag. Not a lot of tricky breaks in this putt, but you're putting downwind, and that will be very fast. I know what he's thinking. Hit this down there where he can just tap in the next one. This putt very fast with the wind and downhill. Picking up speed, picking up speed. I don't see how he could have hit it much easier than that and still gets it about 8 feet by the hole.
And for a moment there, it looked like it was going to duck in. Got a lot of work left.
Norman, this for a birdie. This would be a big putt to hold. He'd pick up at least 2 shots, and boy, does he need them. He knows how fast it is, knows that it's going to move a little left.
Yeah.
Speed all right? Oh. Ooh. Thanks, Freddie. Just touch that. Of course, it gives him a simple par looking, but what a great 4-iron he hit in. Fred now still has a little work to not drop 2 shots at this hole.
This is for bogey.
Ball going back against the wind. This will be a little slower. Well,
a double bogey for Fred Couples. And after 13 holes now, Greg Norman inching closer. The gap now down to 3 strokes. Move to the 14th hole, par 4, 434 yards.
and this is a good hole on a day that's nice and calm. And today, going against the wind again at 434 yards, going to take 2 big shots to get up. It's a very strong start of the finishing holes here at SKIBO.
Both players have hit their 2 shots, and Norman will be first to play.
Greg Norman from 210 yards, just with a 2-iron. And I really don't think he can get there with this 2-iron. He did the first part right. He hit it low.
Ahead of it, Tony.
Going left, though. That was the only way to get it there, just as low as you could
Trying to keep it too low, Tony.
Debated between a 3-wood. Afraid if you got the 3-wood up, that wouldn't be enough. The couples with somewhat the same problem. Going to take a 2-iron from 203. Thought about a 3-wood, but if you get it up, it's just not going to go anywhere. So just look for this to be a low, hot 2.
How's that? Huh?
Looking good. All right. That's a big 2-iron.
Loves hitting those long irons into the wind.
Here you go. The last hole, I don't know why it shot up.
Yeah, straight up.
Well,
Surprised it got as far as I thought. Maybe stay short of it, to tell you the truth.
you know, I hate to think I can hit every shot low, but I don't know why it shot up. Off the tee? I mean, believe me, I was not trying to hit a normal shot.
Trying to hit the same shot he did.
I would say that most of his shots are not normal shots. Here we are on the green.
Norman from off the green. This with a putter. And the way the fringes and the fairways are, that's as good a choice as any. Be a very difficult chip from there.
Off the green.
Well, not bad. Well, it's just working away. You see the wind just moved it twice as far away as it looked like it was going to finish. Greg for his par. It's a break to his left. Well, one in the center. That must have felt good. A very nice par 4 at this 14th hole.
Very nice. Very nice.
May not be good enough, though, because Fred's inside of him. It's his putt for 3.
No, never had a chance.
That stroke looked a little quick. Of course, the wind will do that to you.
And so through 14 holes, Fred Couples 3 shots ahead. Welcome back to Shell's wonderful world of golf. We are in the Highlands of Scotland. 3-stroke lead with 4 wonderful holes left.
Jack, it's a great mixture of holes, and a 3-shot lead is by no means a cinch. You got this hole, 15, a good par 3, 16, a very fine par 4, and 17, one of the great short par 4s I've ever seen. Only 267 by the scorecard. You can drive it, or you might make anything. You get caught in those bunkers, and of course 18, a strong par 5 finishing hole.
Okay, well, let's take a look at this 15th, a beautiful little par 3.
With the lake, of course, to the right, today playing 169 yards against the wind, so it's going to be long iron, all carry, no bunkers. Certainly didn't use a lot of bunkers on this course, which was good, I think. You don't need them. Norman with a 3-iron.
This wind is not letting up.
Looks good. Very nice shot with a 3-iron by Greg Norman. How hard it hit that, Tony. Couples now, same distance, 169. This with a 2-iron. Better not try to hit it too easy, because when he does, he loses it to the right. Oh, good looking shot by Couples. Safe side of the green. Kill.
And both have very long putts.
Couples putting from off the green. Oh man, this is from 70 feet. Your guess is as good as mine. The ball bounced when he hit it. So often happens when it does bounce, means you don't hit it solid and it doesn't have the speed that you need. Greg Norman, now this putt for 2. The ball's going to start up a hill. There's a little knob right away, and then the ball's going to come left off of that, right there. He gets out by the hole, it should move back to the right. Oh my goodness. Wonderful putt, wonderful judgment.
Good touch.
Thanks, bud.
So with Norman safely in and a par 3, Fred has his putt here for his par 3 and to stay 3 strokes clear.
Oh, that looked like it went right through the hole. But it's a bogey for Fred, and now we're down to 2 shots, as close as this match has been since the first hole.
Greg inching a little closer there. He got a little help there.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the way the golf is going out here. You know, if you just keep it in there, par's a heck of a score around here, and you know, unless you're actually playing the shots, you don't realize how hard it is. And we're hitting 4 irons and 3 irons from 79, 69 yards. So really, throw all the shots out of the bag, Dave. We're just going on pure feel right now.
Fred, the par 3s haven't been too kind to you back here.
No, actually, the double bogey kind of put things a lot closer than I would have liked to, and now they're really getting close. But it's fun. As Greg said, you know, it's hard to judge a shot. Last hole, I was just trying to get a 2-iron and cut it in there, and the wind got it. And, you know, from 100 feet, you're not going to 2-putt too many, and I got my work cut out for me.
Well, we're at the par 4 16th, and this is a good hole, so let's see what y'all do with this, all right?
Par 4, 407 yards, and it's another one against the wind, which is unrelenting. It is blowing as hard as it was on the first tee.
And the good thing is, the last one they'll have to play against the wind, Jack. This is a neat par 4 that goes up into this little saddle you see between the 2 little mounds there. 3 bunkers, but the strength here, it's a narrow green, and it's dead against the wind. Going to play very long. Greg Norman with the honor, just with the driver. That's a good-looking drive.
Good one.
Thanks, bud.
Just 2 shots behind now.
He's played very well since the 5th hole. He was 7 over through 5. Couples now, also with the driver. I don't think he got that one.
But both players in the fairway here as the plot thickens. Greg Norman trailing just by 2, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Shell's wonderful world of golf at the Carnegie Club at Skibo Castle. We're at the 16th hole, a par 4, where both players have hit their drives in the fairway.
But Greg has outdriven him about 30 yards, Jack. Fred didn't catch all of that, and he's got a 2-iron from 208 yards. He'll have to get all over this, too. Oh, that's a good shot.
Boy, he has given a lesson on long irons today, hasn't he?
You know, a lot of beautiful shots. 8th hole, 14. Ball coming back a little bit.
Ball's rolling back, or is it? It's rolling back in the bunker.
Oh, what a shame.
Sometimes it just looks that way, Jack, right? You know, it didn't get into the bunker as he thought it might now. Greg Norman, 177, this with a 4-iron.
Going to stay up?
Yeah, why? Where did that ball end up? Am I looking at Freddie's ball? Freddie's ball was on the green when I was hitting, wasn't it?
Yeah, Freddie's ball came back down. That's that slow.
While I was hitting.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's what he thought he saw. But when the green's elevated a little bit, Fred's ball looks like it's on the green. Well, in fact, it's a little bit short of the fringe on that part, about 60 feet from the hole. Well, that looks like wonderful speed there.
Great cut.
Wonderful lag putt by Fred Couples. About 35 feet for Greg.
Slow down and break. Break.
So both players made par here at this difficult 16th hole. And Fred Couples still maintains a 2-shot lead as we move to the 17th hole.
And a great little par 4, I think it is, because wind conditions mean all here. Now, today you may not be able to drive over those bunkers. We'll see if the players try to. Some days it'd be easy to do. You might put it on the green with a 2 or 3 iron. Another day it might be a driver and a 5 iron. I mean, it's a wonderful little short hole where so much can happen. Of course, the Firth of Dornoch off to the left, definitely in play. Wind coming hard from the player's left, blowing to their right. Norman back on the tee. It's the windiest part of the course today. Ooh, it looked like he popped that one up.
And he'll be just short of that bunker.
I never saw. I know it said up there. I know.
Having trouble standing up. And as I said, this is really windy out here on this little point.
Now Fred Couples. Give you some idea of the wind.
There you go, blowing that grass down. Also with a driver. This surprises me a little with just a 2-shot lead. Whoops. Ooh, he's going to be lucky that wind's blowing so hard. That might have been out in the Firth. Puts him in a pretty good position, too, to come in at this flag in the right side of the green.
All right, here's Greg Norman's ball, just short of that bunker. Freddie will hit first, however.
Well, he's actually got the best angle and even the best slide. This with the sand iron.
Stay straight.
That looked good. Ooh, catches the left edge of the hole. Spins by. Wonderful shot by Couples.
Wow.
And Norman just short of the bunker. Not the best line in the world. He's knocking a little swale, and that ball is sitting down, a little cup. He's got to try to play a pitch and run. Oh, and he hit it fat.
Nice bounce.
Well, he said nice bounce, but it didn't sound like he caught that like he meant to, Jack. And we've all done that, including Greg Norman.
You know, this wind makes it hard to concentrate, too, doesn't it, on any shot?
It beats you up eventually if you let it get to you. That's Greg's putt for birdie at 17.
Now the wind won't blow it at all.
Well, you're playing too much wind.
That would give you some idea. You're playing the wind on the putts, huh?
That's right. Even the geese are walking. Couples for birdie after that very nice little sand iron.
Yes.
Well, that's only the 3rd birdie of the day. They've been very rare here at SKIBO today. Tough conditions. Ooh. Well, wind is the only thing that drives the scores up on these players now anyhow. Length is no problem. But Greg needs this for his par.
No, a bogey for Greg Norman and a birdie for Fred Couples. We'll be right back with the final hole in just a moment. And here we are in Scotland, the 18th hole, par 5. David?
And a good one, Jack. 545 yards. Good news, you're with the wind. That little marshy area should not be in play as you dogleg left and can be reached in 2. Want to shoot up to that lone tree that you see. You don't want to be too left of that.
Bite. Huh?
And the more right you get it, you run out of fairway over there. Well, that may not be too good. Run and have a look at that. Now that may be a little bit better. It's more left than Fred's was. But you're still going to go through the fairway with the wind blowing this hard.
No control.
Well, you can't build a golf course for the wind blowing 50 miles an hour. Once it quit blowing.
Here's Fred.
Well, he's going to do the smart thing here. That ball is down pretty good as you look at the castle He's just going to hit a sand wedge out of here. It has been a terrific day for Scottish golf. I don't know if Americans would like it so much. Oh, it turned over in his hand. Watch this. Watch out. It's a hazard. Watch it.
Well,
It's close.
wow. That's interesting here.
Even with a sand iron, tough to keep on the fairway. Tell you what, with Fred shot out of the rough there, this might have just opened ever so slightly a door. This is Norman's second 180 5-iron. Oh, and he played a beautiful looking shot. Just a little played shot with a 5-iron. That is marvelous. All right, and this game isn't quite over yet.
Always away with me. That was a pretty good shot there. Always a little too late. Maybe not. Here is Fred Couples' third shot.
Couples third, just with the sand iron again. He's just going to hack it back to the fairway, and that's what he did. That's what, you know, of course you all planned to do that the first time, but you almost put Greg back in the game there.
Huh? Get a little brush.
Hold the crowd, please.
Join it.
Hold the crowd.
Sure, man.
Hold the crowd.
Still got it.
Actually, that wasn't too bad a playing, Jack, considering what the wind was here today.
They would have canceled America's Cup today with this wind. These boys have played marvelous golf under these conditions. And Freddie got his fourth shot on the green, and here is Greg now for an eagle.
Ball should move to his right. It does.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
A little less speed there, and he may have made that. Of course, it probably wouldn't have helped him. Just got off the horrendous start. If he makes that putt, he's played even par since the 5th hole.
And that is remarkable, because this wind today was a constant thorn. Freddie.
This for his par. That's Laura Norman in the middle of your screen there with Tawnya Dodd. Fred Fiancee, just for bogey 6.
And there it is, bogey 6 for Fred Couples on this final hole.
Knock it in.
5 over par 76 on a windy day. Now Greg for birdie.
Thank you. Good, Freddie. I'd save the birdie for last. That worked out. Thanks. Enjoy
Good
it.
play, bud.
Thanks.
Joey, good going, bud. Tony.
Thanks, bud.